So we watched Godzilla x Kong, but where does it rank in the MonsterVerse films? Let's talk about it. Don't be hating on my rankings of my MonsterVerse list. Let me know in the comment section what's yours. Coming in at number 5, it breaks my heart to say, but it is Godzilla 2014. And yes, it has some memorable moments for me. From the bridge scene with Godzilla, watching the Motos come to life, a monster fight that we had at the end, Godzilla showing off his first atomic breath scene. But when I rewatched this last week, I didn't realize how dark of a movie this really was. And I mean the colors. You could barely see what's going on. The CGI wasn't the greatest, and then it was too many human scenes. And don't get me wrong, Bryan Cranston was the best part of that film besides Godzilla. But everything else, just, I didn't want to see all those human stories. I wanted to see more of the monsters. And let's give some credit because they did learn from this first film, because after that, they gave us so many fights and so many scenes of all the monsters that we all know and love. Taking the number 4 spot is Kong Skull Island. Now, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed this film and I rewatched it as well last week and I had a great time. The CGI was top tier. They showed Kong in the first 30 minutes of the film, so you know they learned their lesson from their last film. And they even gave us a stacked cast from Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, John Goodman, John C. Reilly, Corey Hawkins, and on paper it looked like it was going to be an amazing story with all these actors. But again, they took away the time away from Kong. And that's what we all wanted. And when Kong showed up, it was spectacular. He looked great on the big screen. The CGI was amazing. The colors were bright and the fight scenes were brutal. And I love every second of it. And like I said before, they learned from Godzilla 2014 and they did not waste any time by introducing Kong within the first 30 minutes. And taking the number 3 spot for me, it has to be Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Now, I made a review already on this page about this film, so I'm just gonna tell you guys what I liked and what I didn't like about Godzilla x Kong. And to be honest, I loved everything about Kong. He was the heart of the story. Godzilla was amazing, but not enough scenes. He was more like the bodyguard. Whenever they needed the big guns, he would come into the scene and kick some ass and then leave again. And the one thing I didn't like about this film and why it dropped on my list was Scar King. He wasn't a strong villain at all. There was no flashback scene to show how dominant he was. He just had a few moments and then he got his butt whooped by Godzilla and Kong. And you know what? I was expecting that, but the pacing of the film and the build up to Scar King was very underwhelming and that kind of ruined it for me. But overall, it's a fun buddy cop movie with Godzilla and Kong. You just turn off your brain, you grab your favorite drink and popcorn, and you enjoy the show. And taking my number 2 spot is Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm not even gonna go into the human story in this film. I don't even worry about that. But the monsters, the lineup that we had in this movie was insane. We had Rodan, we have King Ghidorah, Mothra, and of course Godzilla. I mean, it was a Titan party and we were all invited. And I love how every Titan in this film had a moment to shine. You have Rodan flying through a town and blowing everyone away. You have King Ghidorah just destroying everything around him. You had Mothra playing a huge role in saving Godzilla. And the powers that Godzilla got at the end of the film to defeat King Ghidorah was an absolute blast. And the whole time in the theaters, I had a huge smile on my face. I mean, I was excited to watch King Ghidorah on the big screen for the first time in a long time, and to watch Rodan and Godzilla and Mothra. I mean, it was amazing. And that's why Godzilla King of the Monsters is taking the number 2 spot. And now we are here at the number 1 MonsterVerse film for me on my list, and that is Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, what can I say about it? The hype was real. We were waiting for this for so many years to finally have Godzilla vs. Kong live action on the big screen, and we finally got it. And it was truly epic. You had the fight scene with Godzilla and Kong on top of battleships. to having the rematch fight in Hong Kong at night with all the lights and colors, and you having Godzilla shooting the atomic breath at Kong, and then you had Kong hitting Godzilla with the battle axe. It was just so good. And say what you want, Godzilla won that fight. And then you have Mecha Godzilla showing up for the final battle versus Godzilla and Kong, and then you have the two titans teaming up against the robot. I seriously had chills watching that scene because I couldn't believe that my childhood dream has come true, because I finally had Godzilla, Kong, and Mecha Godzilla all on the same big screen. And that is the reason why Godzilla vs. Kong is my #1 film as of right now for the MonsterVerse. And I'm so glad that Godzilla x Kong right now is doing so well in the box office, being the #1 film of the weekend, and having the biggest opening of 2024, beating out Dune Part 2. So this universe is strong, and they got so many films on the way, more Kong, more Godzilla, and possibly having Destroyer being the main big bad like Thanos was for the MCU. So there you go, you beautiful people. That is my ranking for the MonsterVerse films. Let me know in the comment section, what are yours? And remember, if you want more content just like this, drop a like, subscribe, have that bell on for your shiny bald friend, and I will catch you in the next one. You guys take care. Much love. Peace out.